Everyone, Maurice Ng here. Welcome to Things Invest, where we're going to be talking about investing, finance, and professional development. For today's video is for entertainment purposes only. What we're going to be talking about today, as of April 17th on Saturday, and happy weekends to everybody, by the way. We're going to be talking about the cryptocurrencies market. As you know, we've been experiencing some sort of a sell-off today across the board with respect to like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Dogecoin at about like 5%, 6.5% of a sell-off today. I'm going to give you guys my technical quantitative analysis on where I see these assets with respect to the price point going. Also using my quantitative analysis, I'm going to give you guys my price predictions on where I see these assets going year end 2021 as well. So stay tuned, stick around, and let's make some money. For those that are new to this channel, my name is Maurice Ng. I'm a former Wall Street investment banker at JP Morgan and then subsequently a private equity investor for about half a decade of my life, and most recently a tech executive at a Silicon Valley-based technology company. So now I come here on YouTube, try to utilize the value and the knowledge that I've acquired in the last 1 decade of my life to try to basically educate people around the world, right, on gaining that financial freedom, that financial success that we're all striving for. So all I'm asking for you guys to do is to hit that like button below, that subscribe button below, and that notification bell. It helps me, helps with the YouTube algorithm to hopefully spread the good work that I'm trying to do here as well, so we can all rise together successfully and financially. So starting from the first one on Bitcoin, looking at a daily chart perspective, you can see that we've definitely been on a very bullish trend, and you can see that right now we are trending according to the line that I have drawn here. Ever since in January, as of 24, we hit that consolidated bottom resistance level, and then subsequently rally up all the way as we learned that Elon Musk, from Tesla, he decided to buy $1.5 billion into Bitcoin, which subsequently drove this like euphoric pump. Which kind of deviate from the trends that we were kind of experiencing before, which was more of a downtrend. And ever since then we've been on a up and away type of way as we gain more media affectations, more media attractions, learning that a lot of corporations, including the most seasoned institutions, are deciding to allocate part of their balance sheets into cryptocurrencies, especially in Bitcoin, which subsequently drove this huge rally up all the way by February, and then we saw that one-time correction. And I think this is just like people looking for a quick buck. Most of the retail seller decide to sell because of such a massive push already, right, from the $33,000 level all the way to the 56, which is a 25k gains in the span of like a couple months, not even like couple weeks tops, right? And then ever since we sold off, and then we hit that new resistance level, and this is a very bullish signal that we can see right here as a lower high, as you can see. And then subsequently we pushed up even more as we gain more media attractions, and people are euphorically pumping this stuff all the way up. And then ever since then we've been consolidating, and then another secondary sell off, and I believe this was the one-time black swan events that happened in mid-March, when I believe the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, was speaking about the economic outlook going forward, and that created a seismic black swan event across the board in not just the cryptocurrencies market, but also in the equities market, right? So ever since it sold off, and then subsequently it got bought up immediately at that 54,000 level, and then subsequently we create another secondary lower high, which is another bullish signal, right? And I actually bought a little bit right here at about like the $52,000 level, and ever since then we rallied back up all the way to this new all-time high of like 64,900 level. And right now we are selling off slightly, ever since from the 65. I think there's a mental block, a mental resistance level of 65,000 that we haven't breached yet, that right now we are selling off. And my projections going forward in the near future, in the next couple of weeks even, is that we will retest this level right here, about like close to 58,800. And the reason I say we will possibly break the 60k level is because I think people are psychologically trying to test this level right now of the 60k. Is this really a viable pump because of the fact that we've already rallied so much, right? But I foresee that because of a lot of corporations are buying, and Coinbase just IPO, there's gonna be a lot of media hype affectation that causes a lot of retailers to buy, and I believe a lot of corporations, as we are learning more on, with respect to like the Q1 earnings calls that we're gonna be hearing from a lot of corporations around the world, we will get some glimpse on understanding with respect to their balance sheet allocation, on how they're gonna be allocating cryptocurrencies as part of their balance sheet going forward. So that could be another positive catalyst or a negative catalyst, depending on what. So this is definitely a level that we want to look at the $59,000 level, 58,700 level. This is I believe this is going to be a strong resistance level, knowing that the fact that we did kind of test around like the 56 level. So I foresee another lower high again, as we continue to further push up. And I foresee that by summertime, we are going to most likely hit that $75,000 level, and then do that secondary, correction, not more like a subtle sell-off, if you may. Basically testing back to the 65, 64,900 level again. And contingent on us like continue to rally up all the way to the top, right? With respect to like, basically trending this line without any like major black swan events that deviates the trends and the momentum that we're seeing right now. As you can see that, for the RSI, we are more on the mid level of the supply and demand perspective. We're not overly bought, we're not overly sold, but we are definitely trending, in more of a oversold territory as we keep going down. And look at the MACD, we do see some more of a sell-off going forward because of the fact that we are closing with this cross here. If we further cross, yeah, which I foresee will definitely do so, that will go down to the $58,000 level, like I mentioned, right? And contingent on nothing like no black swan events happening in the near future, nothing major that like Jerome Powell decides to ban cryptocurrencies altogether in the U.S., or some crazy stuff like that happens, or something that completely deviates the fundamental of this cryptocurrencies as a value asset going forward, then I foresee us to be hitting extreme all-time high of close to 100K by the end of this year. I actually foresee more of like a $95,000 level rather than 100K, because that 100K is truly a mental or psychological blockade, because of the fact that it's six digits for for an asset of a single share or single coin of a Bitcoin, which is a lot of people can be wary, right? Because the 100K is a big resistance level that we foresee. People typically look at numbers in a more of a whole numbers, right? We like 50K, 60K, 70K. Hitting that 100K is gonna be like a complete is going to be a huge milestone for for Bitcoin specifically. So something to look out for. But first, I foresee that this could be a good price point for us to get in, $58,000 level. And if we don't, we will go all the way back down to this $52,000 level, which could be another one, another price point for us to get into. But long term wise, I am bullish on Bitcoin. I am a believer in this long term value that is sustained going forward. So just to recap on everything that I just talked about with respect to Bitcoin, I think 60K is definitely a fair value for us to get in if you believe in this assets type in a long-term perspective. You believe that cryptocurrencies is here to stay, and based on a lot of the macroeconomical and microeconomical momentums that we've been experiencing so far, and some of the factors that kind of tying all of this together with respect to the market adoptions, the business fundamentals, and utilizations of this as an asset going forward. I think 60K is definitely a fair price for us to get into. I think the next resistance level is going to be $56,000 level, just based on the technical analysis that we just talked about today. And if we breach that, I think the next level is going to be 50K. I think that's an unrealistic level for us to get there based on just how bullish we've been getting and based on the resistance and the verification bottoms that we've been already testing, the various different higher lows that we've been creating in the last couple months so far. So 50K is definitely an attractive level, but the realistic level or the possibility of us actually getting there, unlikely. But who knows? Cryptocurrencies is a very volatile asset at the moment, as it's still more of a in the earliest stage of adoption at the moment, right? But going forward, I do foresee cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin, to be less volatile and more sustainable in terms of like the price fluctuations level going forward, because more corporations are adopting, holding Bitcoin into their balance sheets, and less supplies in the circulations in the market. That means just more price sustainability, more of risk averse assets going forward, like gold, which is a form of safe haven, historically speaking. So I do foresee Bitcoin to outweigh gold going forward, or at least be comparable to gold going forward. So 50K is definitely a level that I would totally buy in if we will get there. And if we ever get down further into the $43,000 level, I think, wow, that's a steal if that happens. But based on just the technical analysis that we just went through right now, that would have to go through basically two hoops of resistance for us to get to the bottom of that resistance level. So if we get there, I would totally load up, possibly even selling some of my equity, some of my assets in terms of real estate as well to buy more into it. But who knows? And lastly, with respect to the end year price target, I do put a $95,000 a price tag at the end of year. I do not think we will breach 100K. We might, but just because of the resistance level of just the 6-digit number, 100K is a pretty strong mental blockade for people psychologically. 100K is a pretty big milestone for Bitcoin to get there. And I think we will get there eventually. We might even breach way more than $110,000, or even $500,000, like Cathie Wood or J.P. Morgan or Citibank has projected. But I don't think that would happen this year per se because of the adoption. It just takes time for corporations to do so. You don't just buy a lot of assets without like board's approval, without going through the slow integrations process. Working with businesses typically, and especially for a large amount of money like this, it takes time. Good things takes time, right? So I think because of the fact of the psychological level resistance, on top of the adoptions growth that I foresee we will be experiencing going forward, we will have some hiccups on top of the fluctuations as well on the retail investing side. $95,000 is my price target, and if you buy in now, that will give you a potential 58% of an upside, or close to about 1.6 times your money going forward. All right, so that's it for the day for the quantitative analysis on my cryptocurrencies outlook in the near future. Really appreciate you guys dropping by again. Please, again, hit the like buttons, the subscribe button, and that bell notification as well. I really appreciate it. I really enjoy doing this every single day. I feel like it's so fun to be connecting with you guys, and also being able to provide value to you guys. That's something that I really look forward to doing every single day. So stay tuned, and please look out for the next video.